right. Coach, second biggest crowd ever for women's basketball here at Cal Poly tonight. You guys come out with the win against a tough Northridge team. How much did the crowd play into what you guys did?
You know, I think that our team really responds. They want to put on a good show. Obviously, Ariana Elgato she's just so much fun. And anytime that she's got the ball in her hands, the more people that show up, the bigger the show and the stage is for her. And really appreciate everyone coming out to the game. It was so awesome. I have to say that the last game that we had set the record against Santa Barbara years ago, there was probably 1,000 Santa Barbara fans there. So it was kind of not truly a Cal Poly record. So I'll claim today as a Cal Poly record.
Great.
Thank you everyone for coming out.
And it seemed like there was a spell, end of the first half, beginning of the second half, where you guys just kind of weren't scoring. I think they went on like a 19-2 run or something in that range. Elgato came and hit a two-pointer, and she kind of seemed to get things kind of sparked. Can you talk a little bit about getting yourself out of that rut?
Yeah, I think that we had 5 of our last 8 possessions were turnovers, and we just weren't playing very intelligent basketball. Come down to the quick shots, and sometimes just trying to do too much one-on-one. So we talked about trying to put the ball in our best player's hands, have her create, and then have a little bit more poise on the court than what we are currently showing. Obviously, they took advantage of some of the things that we were doing defensively too. And as you start to hit that fatigue point, I think that your decision making wears down a little bit. So we were definitely suffering from that kind of effect. I wanted to comment. Hannah Gilbert logged a ton of minutes for us the other night. She's got strep throat and played her heart out, and again today logged a ton of minutes for us. And she wasn't her normal self getting up and down, but no one else would know that except for our coach that watches her every day. But what a gutsy effort.
Yeah, there was one moment towards the end, maybe 2 or 3 minutes left, when you guys called a timeout, you drew up a play, and it just ended up coming down to Ariana kind of doing one of her patented kind of pull-up mid-range shots, and I saw you look at Carrie and just kind of go, like, okay, like this is how this is going to be. It seemed like. Can you tell me what you were thinking or what you said to her?
My thoughts were, this kid is just unbelievable. She really is. She's a great player, one of the best that I've ever coached, and so much fun. She's fun to be around. She's fun to coach. She's fun to watch. Sometimes I feel like I would just like to get in the stands and just enjoy the show instead of having to do all the other stuff. But she's been a delight.
Is this, to stay in that same vein, is this the kind of game where, I know you've been appreciative that she decided to come back in the past, but is this the game where you're really glad you have her?
Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Yes, I am very excited about her decision to come back. You can see, it's just a treat for everyone. She makes her team better. She's obviously an incredible player, and I just can't imagine her walking away from a game that she clearly loves. So it's a win-win for everybody, and I'm just so glad that she did come back.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier to Owen that you got it in her hands, and there were so many one-on-one moves where she broke it down and got a shot off. Made it. I can't look at the box score right now, but.
She had
22 points.
Yeah.
You had one other player in double figures. Early on in the game, it seemed like the scoring was kind of spread out, but as it wore on, you knew that watching the game that it was going to be her taking the shots. Is there a level where it's too much reliance on her at all?
That can happen. There's been games where that has happened. This wasn't that game. I don't know what to tell you. She's got days when she's just off the charts, other days when she has to do so much, and then you're trying to ask her to set up other players. I thought that both the Long Beach State team and the Northridge team were excellent in dropping down and covering post play. So she wasn't going to get her usual no-look dump passes because they're brilliant at getting the drops in so quick. So it was going to be either her pull-up jump shot or get in the paint kick instead of dump passes. And so obviously the post players didn't get as many touches tonight, didn't get as many points. But, we asked them to play defense, we asked them to rebound and do what they could there, cover corners for us in our 3-2 zone, and every bit pays off, and everyone did their job today.
Yeah, the momentum shifted, and Owen asked you about this, but can you pinpoint an exact moment or a play or something that turned it back in your favor, or at the very least, you saw the team just kind of get it back, I guess, get it back together?
Well, I thought, I didn't say it out loud, but at the start of the game when Taryn Garza, who's not a great free throw shooter, made both of her free throws, I said, we're winning this game. That was my cue that was going to happen for us. But later on in the game, I thought about the 5-minute mark, I took a timeout there, wanted to make sure we had a great stop, that we could actually breathe, get water, make sure we're all on the same page. I thought then that they all had good poise when they came into the huddle, and that they understood what they needed to do to finish out the game.
Yeah.
So to me, that was a critical point for us.
Yeah.
And then off of that, we ended up having Kayla with a big time rebound, got fouled, made her free throws, and then obviously she came down again in a defensive board and came up with another big rebound. So, we had some critical stops. I think we forced them to in that last 5 minutes to a shot clock violation, and that was huge for us too. So they were all locked into what our job was, to try to keep them out of the paint and get out to three-point shooters once we did that job. So again, I thought defensively they were really solid today and intelligent.
Yeah. Well, what was there? I'm trying to remember when you retook the lead, because you had something like a 10-point-ish lead at the half, and it had been double digits. Then they came all the way back and retook the lead. There was a three-pointer by you.
Mary
right
Kate.
around it. Was it? Yeah. Was that? I was trying to remember who it was. And I couldn't remember. It was Mary Kate.
Mary Kate from the corner, from the far
from
corner.
the corner. I mean, was that was the play? I think where maybe the confidence returned, I guess, for the whole team, or no, or was there another play?
No,
What was kind of the turning point?
I thought that was big for us. Mary Kate is a great shooter, and the ability to have her kind of play 4 or 5, people will lose her because they're expecting a 5 player to be in the block, and all of a sudden she's out there at the 3-point line knocking one down. We drew up for her to take that next shot at the top of the key. It didn't go down, but we had total confidence in her abilities. And again, you're talking about local product, people, local product. Way to go, coaches! And some great kids and hard workers. They just put their heart out there, and I love them.
Beth knocked one down too. I wanted to ask you about that. I mean, it seemed like Mary Kate, Beth, a few of those players just made like kind of just enough, or were just kind of like chipped in just enough along with Ariana tonight.
Yeah, well, they were good threes. They weren't rushed threes. They were feet set.